What's up, everybody? We're back here with another little Bonz talk. So, once again, this is more of a raw, unedited, just kind of little talk discussing different things pertaining to running a small business, general contracting, and personal life stuff. If there's any questions that you guys want to ask, be sure to drop a comment down below so I can see it and I can hopefully answer it on one of these. So, anyways, today we are going to be talking about work-life balance as a small business owner or a general contractor, just somebody in that space. Wait a minute, I'll let it go by. Okay, anyways, so there's a common phrase used just in adult life that talks about work-life balance. And so for me, I actually don't really subscribe to that belief, but hear me out first before I get too deep into it. I don't think there's a thing such as a work-life balance. A lot of people think, I just want to work 40 hours and then the rest of the time is like life stuff, that sort of thing. When you're running a small business or just a business of any sort, you don't really have that balance. Everyone wants to look for like this perfect harmony that comes along with that. And I think even from my experience in working in the corporate world, that doesn't really exist. I think what it's more like, which this isn't my own idea, this was actually written in a book called The One Thing by Gary, I forget his last name, but think of it as like this bar right here and a line in the middle. And so on the top side you have work and on the bottom side you have life. And it's not really a balance right across the middle like everyone really wants it to be. That would be like the perfect harmony, that's the perfect work-life balance. I don't think that really exists. What it's more like is kind of, you dive a little bit harder into work sometimes, and then you dive harder into life. And sometimes it requires more of your attention. So you're more in like the work phase, like really grind it out. And then you can't just do that forever. You need to have some life too. So then you come back down into the life thing. And when you take that average, that's when you get your work-life balance. So I personally struggle with this a lot because I like to work. I work a lot of hours. A lot of my days consist of I work, I get up probably around like 5:30. I'm doing work-related stuff around like 6:30, 7 o'clock. We really start our day, get going. That goes until about 4:30, 5 o'clock at night. If I have meetings with customers, usually it's a little bit later. I get off of that, I do a little bit of exercise, and then currently, as we speak, I have my own house remodel I'm working on, so I'm spending my nights over there. And then when I'm not spending my nights over there, I'm working on editing videos and doing that sort of thing throughout the week and into the weekends. So right now, for me, where I'm at on that whole little graph thing is probably on like the really work hard, grind things out. But I know it's not gonna be that way forever because eventually my house remodel will be done. We have pretty consistent hours when it comes to work. There are times where it's a little bit bouncy and seasonal, but for the most part, it stays pretty regular. And then I do have that added thing of editing videos for YouTube, which does require a lot of time. I'd say I probably spend at least no less than 15 to 20 hours additional a week working on videos or working on content, doing things of that nature. And so I'm a little bit heavy in the workspace, but let's say, especially after I get done with the house remodel, I'll have that time back. Then I'm spending a lot of my evenings working on that house to do more things with like enjoying life. But that doesn't mean that I neglect it entirely. Especially during the winter season, I'm a big fan of snowboarding. Me and my buddies, Cole the Corn Star, we got Cooper, the Magic Mullet, my buddy Seth. He works with Westland Diesel. We all go out and take a ski/snowboard trip every single year. I look forward to that. So I'll have like a week and a half that we go up to the mountains. That's all we're doing. We're just riding snowboards, skiing every day, just hanging out, having great conversations, just really living life, doing that sort of thing. So during the winter, I really love to be up in the mountains. I will take more time to go do that. I'll also take some of my weekends and I'll go up to Stevens Pass or Mount Baker, Crystal Mountain, some of the places up here in the Pacific Northwest, and go ride and hang out, just because that's the one thing that kind of gets me to separate, and that's more of like down in the life spot. Then as we move into summer, Washington is absolutely gorgeous during summer. There's no place I would rather be than out here during the summer. Even during the week, it's just absolutely amazing. 90 days straight sunshine. It's absolutely incredible. The temperatures are fairly mild. Right now it's a little warm. We're in like the 70s, upper 70s, and it's just towards the end of springtime. But I love to go cliff jumping, so I'll take time on weekends to go do that. I have a ton of different hiking trails and stuff around me of where I live at. So even during the week, it almost feels like I'm on vacation the second I get off of work. I can just go for a hike. I can go over to the beach. I can go do some of that stuff. And so during the summer, I might as well just be on vacation. The second I get off of work, I got things I can do. It's just a lot of fun. It's absolutely gorgeous. Just being out in nature, going and doing things. Riding dirt bikes. I really like riding dirt bikes, so we get great weather for that. So I'll take days on the weekend that I'll go ride with some buddies and hang out, do that sort of thing. So, you know, it's a constant fluctuation from, you know, working hard down into life, back to working really hard, and then you come back out of that and just focus on life stuff, and it's constantly back and forth as you move along. And I think that's how you get the work-life balance. It's really hard to find that constant harmony because there's just things that are going to consume your time, and especially if you're running the business too. When we get close to wrapping up a project, we spend a lot more time just making sure that we're going over everything to make sure that the whole entire thing is complete. That way we can turn it over to the customer. So we might put in a couple of extra hours to get to a certain point to be able to close things out. It just requires that little bit additional time. And then, you know, there's other times where it's like, hey, you've worked really hard, so you can take a minute to kind of step back from everything and enjoy life a little bit more. And there's just things that constantly require your attention, especially with running the business. You're constantly in tune with finances, project statuses, and things of that nature, working with customers, making sure everybody's all happy. That you got to work pretty darn hard. And you know, you can get to a 40-hour work week and stuff, but there's definitely times where you're going to have to put in extra hours, extra time, just to get things over the edge and really close out and maintain a good reputation. I think that's very important. So, So I don't think there's really a great answer on work-life balance. I don't think that anybody... Well, maybe I'm wrong. If you're able to accomplish a perfect harmony of work-life balance, be sure to drop a comment down below. Just call me a big fat liar. I won't take it personally. But even when I was working in the corporate world, I ran a lot of different projects, even as like a low-level individual contributor for the company. I still had times that maybe it's just me, but I'd be working on projects. I really wanted to make sure it was successful, so I'd go in early, do a whole bunch of trial runs. That way, once the production line actually started up, that we wouldn't hit any roadblocks. And then I'd take some notes if something went a little bit weird, and stay late and work on those things. I'm not saying to do that all the time, but it's just one of those things that if you want to be really successful at what you do, you're going to have to work hard. You're going to have to put in some extra every now and then, but it's also not healthy to only stay in that high drive time. Like, I've had it to where I I was incredibly burnt out. Last year we had so many projects going on. We were definitely in like a survival mode, all of that stuff, and we worked 6 to 7 days a week, probably doing no less than like 14-hour days for about 7 months, just to be able to recover. And at the end of that, I was just a zombie. I was not happy with where I was with things in life. It was very rough, and I was definitely burnt out, and I was just like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. This is not fun. But then I was able to take some time kind of to myself after pushing so hard for so long to be like, okay, it's all good, we're good, enjoy life. So it's very important to maintain both a good amount of work as well as life stuff. So there's going to be times when you have to dip in one side or the other, and make sure you do that so that you can keep cruising along and doing the best that you can do. And that's how I deal with it. I just, when I have to work hard, I work hard, put in the time, but I don't try to kill myself constantly. But if I know that something needs to get done, I make sure it gets handled, and then I take the time to go and enjoy myself and do things and live life a little bit, because you definitely need to. You don't want to just be a little workhorse all the time and have life fly by you, because you hear it all the time about how they interview those 80 or 90-year-old people that are on their deathbeds, and I don't think any of them have answered that they wish that they would have worked more. So you got to make sure that you also enjoy life. So hopefully you found that useful. Hopefully that's a little bit of an insight. I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are on it. I know that it's kind of one of those controversial topics that people are always having discussions and stuff about, but I think that's the best analogy, the best kind of representation that I've seen, and I've seen it definitely reflected in my life, that it's not ever going to be perfect little harmony across the line. I think you got to work hard, and then you also have to take the time for yourself, and on the average, that's how you get your work-life balance. If you guys have any different opinions or anything else, be sure to drop a comment down below. If you have any questions, also drop that comment below. I could be answering one of your questions on one of these drives, one of these conversations, one of these talks. And if you like this, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you like this video, or if you want to follow along with any of the other cool projects we have going on, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one.